insider information. Be careful with that. Don't give too much away.
Yeah, no.
Shot might get mad.
No, he might, but either way now.
What's he going to do?
The script will be flipped, right? Now they're going to potentially look at Jinx. Do they send Prince back onto the Zeri? Looks like a toss-up between the two. Who would you go with here in this
Well,
position?
I would go with the Zeri. I feel like the Jinx
Surprise,
was a
big Maokai. Surprise, big.
So Maokai, it's actually funny because Spica and FlyQuest, Maokai has been nerfed. This was the champion where FlyQuest were the team most utilizing Maokai when it was at its most OP, most broken before the Maokai nerfs and before the Demonic Embrace nerfs. But both LPL and LCK have continued playing the Maokai even after the nerfs. They've just adapted some really interesting builds. So we'll see if they do them here. I saw a Mandate Maokai jungle. As a jungler myself, that makes me feel a little weak inside. But, you know, you can also go like full tank Maokai. We'll see what Spica cooks up here.
Well, with the Jinx and Thresh left open after FlyQuest's first round of picks, 100 Thieves are happy to run back the bottom lane duo that they've had in both of the previous games. Just like you pointed out at the end of the previous game, Courage, DoubleLift did have a point in the previous game where he was 6-0 on this Jinx.
Yes.
The problem was, then it was Spica and even more so Impact who found him again and again and again and made it so that Jinx couldn't carry. Now we're going to have the Lulu next to the Zeri next once again here on FlyQuest. So you've got junglers and bottom laners drafted in the first half. It's time for some solo lane bans. And the first one from FlyQuest bans Syndra away from Bjergsen.
100 Thieves now going with their fourth ban. Here in this one, you can see both teams matching up quite evenly so far outside of the Maokai. If I'm 100 Thieves, I'm pretty happy with that bot lane matchup. I would say so far, in all the games that 100 Thieves has played against FlyQuest, now 4 up to this point, this split, I would say the first 2 were way more of, oh my goodness, Prince completely styling on, completely being the hero. Where, honestly, so far, Prince has played very well, but that definitely hasn't been the case. It's been the Spica and Impact show up to this point. Now with Closer getting the Wukong, you've got to think he's looking to be the impact maker this game.
Definitely will be. He's got eyes for that back line. He has played the Wukong exceptionally thus far this split. We're going to split bans here, actually. Ban away the Scion from top side. Taliyah is still open here for either side, honestly. Bjergsen has been a pretty good Taliyah as well. See what 100 Thieves try and respond with. Taking one off of probably Vicla here. Assuming FlyQuest are going to get something for Impact Blind.
So the thing that I always look at when I think of these things is if you're FlyQuest, you feel comfortable taking something like the Taliyah, taking something that you're daring Bjergsen to essentially play an assassin into, because Bjergsen's not really an assassin player. There's a reason 100 Thieves are banning out the Akalis and things like that. Bjergsen has had some good games on it in the past, but he's known for more of those control scaling type of picks. FlyQuest going for the blind Renekton for Impact.
Yep, they saved their counter pick here for Vicla. The Taliyah banned out by 100 Thieves. Good ban from them. Impact has definitely been a good Renekton. Let's see what Tenacity wants to play into it with the Scion ban. Gragas is available. Gragas has been his other most played top lane champion. It looks like they'll instantly grab that for him. All right, Bjergsen, what do you got blind?
Gragas also a flex, could be played mid potentially, but no, all right. It will be Tenacity's Gragas top and Bjergsen Ahri here in the mid lane.
I will let you know that Ahri is my most played champion in League of Legends, so Bjergsen...
I thought you were a jungler.
Yeah, that's actually true right now. I have switched, but let's just say the nine-tailed fox. Sheesh! Oh, Veigar locked in. Vicla, what a performance on the Veigar in game number 1. Can he do it here in game 3? All right, Kobe, break it down for me. Where do you like this pick ban?
Honestly, I'm a bit worried for 100 Thieves. I'm sorry.
I want the truth. I want the truth.
I am a bit worried for them. They do have more, lots of AP with the Demonic everywhere. Now Maokai has 2 kind of new routes to go. You have 2 decisions. My preference is the tank decision. You get your Radiant Virtue, you get your Sunfire, you build tank stats. Maokai's still very good with tank items. Or now instead of the AP route for Maokai, there are a decent amount of players doing support style building jungle Maokai.
Q8 Trinity Force.
No, unfortunately, Flowers, it is not going to be as exciting. There are players build Moonstone, players build Mandate, so Spica could go one of those builds. He has a Renekton top lane, plenty of damage there, and 2 really big carries in Vicla and Prince on the Veigar and the Zeri. So we could see that angle from him, but I really do like the full tank.
I mean, especially with a bruiser top laner, 2 massive damage, pretty much infinitely scaling carries on your main carry roles, the front line being more prominent, being more robust, just feels like it's higher value here to me.
And guys, I do want to give some insight here. This is pretty high-level stuff. If 100 Thieves lose this game, they lose the series.
Ooh, I
got you guys. Want to make sure you guys all knew that. That's pretty hard to figure out. This is a best of 5. 100 Thieves, their backs against the wall, but they've got 2 of the longest-standing veterans, 2 of the winningest veterans in LCS history. Can they will them to a game 4, or will FlyQuest get the sweep?
Yeah, now is the time to pull out all of the stops here. They do have DoubleLift back on the Jinx. He's taking Cleanse this time around to have 1 answer at least for the Veigar cage for later on. That is definitely a necessity.
I mean, you guys were talking about it earlier. Courage, I believe it was you pointed out, like, yeah, you know, cage into point-and-click stun from Renekton, point-and-click stun from Maokai. There's just so much CC.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to get out of whatever hits you first, or you're going to get hit by the entirety of everything. Vicla trading back and forth with Bjergsen here nice and early. As Impact hits level 2 first in the top side.
I also do want to put some of this on the rest of the members, the teammates. When you are playing an AD carry like Jinx, you do rely a lot on your teammates for your positioning, for peeling for you. And that was something I brought up in game number 2 about game number 1, but Spica's here for the first gank.
Flash into the twisted advance. Bjergsen flashes away in time before the cage materializes. So they're going to trade the Spica flash for the Bjergsen flash. Very, very valuable before Ahri hits level 6. She is now incredibly vulnerable to a repeat gank.
Yeah, Spica on this Maokai so many times in the regular season. This is his 6th play of the champion, doing the 3 camp into gank mid. It's just so easy, Maokai. Flash W guarantees you that engage. The small little window there of timer, though. Bjergsen's happy he was able to trade flashes and get out himself. Both junglers leave behind the wards around the top side of mid lane too, so both junglers know the opponents have their jungler clearing topside camps, and they both have the mid lane warded from that side, but Closer's going for the early attempt on Impact's life.
Impact's gonna get ganked by the Wukong here, you would think.
Reading that movement, really.
All right, one bonk over the head, that's it.
You nearly got him.
Close.
Smack that crocodile on the head.
Bonk.
Honestly, though, so you saw the little things there as Impact. He was reading Tenacity's movement. As soon as Tenacity comes up to him while he's walking towards a brush, hey, there's a very high chance the enemy jungler's in that brush. So he walks away, and that's why he's able to get out with just a bonk on the head.
Tenacity staying here and fighting against Impact, who's just about had enough of it. Tenacity flashes away and lives, but Impact is running the lane up here.
Crocodile King. Impact, massive importance in the last match as well. Threatening that backline along with Spica. That's something that 100 Thieves is still going to have in the back of their minds.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that play really begins to start all the way back at the fact that Impact hit level 2 first. Got that big chunk down on towards Tenacity. He's been weak since then. It's crazy how one little moment like that, a second of difference, can make such a huge change in the lane.
Some people get lulled to sleep by this narrative of Impact only playing tank champions, but throughout his career, he's always had some damage-oriented champions, some bruisers, some carry champions, of course, at times. You know, he's got a Jax World Champion skin, nothing to scoff at, and he really does play aggressively in the aggressive matchups when he's on one of the comfortable champions that he has, so he's really showing the other side here.
Right now, he'll just farm up the wave that Tenacity has crashed. This does afford the 100 Thieves top laner the opportunity to roam, and he'll roam towards mid. Vicla is pushed up far enough that the big man might be able to find himself an angle here, but with that wave about to crash into the mid lane turret, they're just going to allow Bjergsen to pick up the farm, and now it's Vicla who's got the roam. He'll make his way into the bottom side river. However, he was spotted out by a ward, so 100 Thieves is aware that FlyQuest is trying to set something up. Spica goes over the wall. He's only going to find some vision, clean that out. No early Drake from either side here. Early Drakes have defined both of the previous games because of the fact that one team or the other was able to get him before the Herald even spawned and then snowball that into more neutral control afterwards. But for now, things are going to stay relatively even.
Yeah, and Closer's not on the Xin Zhao this game like he has been this entire series, so the Wukong 3-6 ganks not nearly as frightening as a lot of these Xin ganks towards the bottom side. Prince and Eyla should have a much easier time this time. And the bottom side staying safe. You see the same amount of effort being put in by FlyQuest, though. The vision coverage through this bottom river has been one of the biggest objectives for both teams. DoubleLift with a small CS lead down on bottom side.
Tenacity, again, just on the losing end of a trade up here. Impact has a very sizable CS lead right now, but a lot of that can be made up with these minions underneath the turret as Impact will back up just a little bit. Recognizing that Tenacity hits level 6, you've got to be respectful enough of the knockback potential of the Gragas ultimate. That's going to be one of the huge tools here for 100 Thieves as the game goes on. It'll be Tenacity and Closer looking to get those angles, find those engages on especially Vicla. Because of the fact that Prince has mobility on the Zeri, Vicla is very vulnerable if he gets knocked out of position. If we remember back to one of the games against Evil Genius,
JoJo versus
I believe it was
100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Tenacity kept hitting JoJo.
Tenacity again and again and again. It would be JoJo's Veigar just knocked into an immediate death. So if Tenacity can dial that in against Vicla, really good sign there for 100 Thieves to be able to take us to a game 4.
Kurt, do you want to interpret some of these?
These are fake tweets. I see it. The chat is telling me right now. I have the chat because I know everything from chat. It's the brightest players in the world are in Twitch chat. So looks like first advance towards this dragon will come in from 100 Thieves, and I think FlyQuest are going to try to contest this.
That last tweet there, also remember, at the beginning of the split, Tenacity said that he would shave his head if they lost to FlyQuest in playoffs. So it might be problematic here very soon. Spica going to be caught out here with a very start, but now Closer on the front lines. Also going to be careful. First blood over to Bjergsen, and FlyQuest is in full retreat. Vicla might go next. Has the flash, and he gets away. Eyla's going to sidestep too, but 100 Thieves are happy with the way it went down.
Yeah, Bjergsen flash, Flowers. Bjergsen flash of death right there. He hits the charm. They get the kill. Flash also blown in for Vicla in a defensive manner. Tenacity's out of mana, so it should be fine. Yeah. And mid lane, they're not done.
They're gonna look for more. Eyla has no summoner spells. Vicla just had to pop his second one. FlyQuest is absolutely screwing around, and 100 Thieves is not gonna let him do it. Nice punish.
And it's the Dark Shield. That's what that's called, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
I know that.
Hell yeah.
From Bjergsen early on in this game. Gonna be looking to stack that one up here as a rough start for FlyQuest going in towards that dragon, and it was the hook from Busio into the traps of Jinx, into the charm that winds up cutting down Maokai before he can even begin to try to move out of the way.
Yeah, another really good start. This start is actually even more accelerated than game number 2, 400 Thieves, even though FlyQuest, since they die first, they reset first, and they can go get Heralds, pick it up on the other side of the map. And Impact here constantly pushing on Tenacity is an issue. It's still very, very beneficial for 100 Thieves. Impact and the rest of FlyQuest making Tenacity lose more minions is actually fine for 100 Thieves because it means DoubleLift gets to push out on bottom side. We'll see about the plate count, how much this Jinx is able to get, but funneling more money into Jinx towards their plan, I think it's a good call from FlyQuest, still getting themselves out of a very losing scenario.
Impact teleporting into the bottom lane, wants to be able to save the turret. He's going to clear out that minion wave and make it so 100 Thieves can't get anything else down there. Meanwhile, they summon up the Herald with the turret just having enough HP left for the charge to nearly kill it off. So the race has been won by the side of FlyQuest, but now Impact surely will die here. Wants to just clear out as many minions as he can, send these guys on a wild goose chase so they don't have free firing time on the turret. The minion wave dies, and it means they're going to trade Impact away for that turret on the top side. The 100 Thieves gold lead was almost 1,500. Now evaporated after the FlyQuest Rift Herald play.
And Tenacity able to get rid of the Rift Herald before it gets a slam on the top turret, which should be enough to stop the push coming in from FlyQuest. So actually a pretty decent trade right there from the side of 100 Thieves as DoubleLift is able to stay here. They still have vision of so many players on FlyQuest. And look where Closer is. He's been farming some of these camps in the blue side jungle. DoubleLift gonna have to back it up as it's Vicla who teleports on in. Getting closer and closer towards that second dragon spawn, 2.5 minutes away. Here in game number 3, it's still a slight gold advantage over to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting sacrifice there from Impact. Teleporting in to get some minion waves and delay turret plate taking for DoubleLift, but then still sacrificing his life and giving 100 Thieves that kill gold at least back over. Then they also want to save this next cannon minion wave and teleport Vicla in so they don't let any of this experience go to waste. But DoubleLift is, again, going to be very far ahead here with the extra kills. So we'll see how it turns out. The thing that we brought up in game number 2 about game number 1, 100 Thieves need to watch out for these Spica flanks. It's very clear, very apparent from both games, the gameplay here. Spica always looking for flanks and assassinating DoubleLift. So while this Jinx is very fed right now, they do need to help peel for him, ward on those flanks, track Spica, mark the champion, because Maokai ultimate is very wide and very hard to miss.
That's what I want to talk about here with teams looking for positioning around the bottom side river with a minute to go before the next Drake spawns. In that first Drake fight, the 100 Thieves won so handedly, Spica was level 5. There was no Maokai ulti, and the difference between that being there or not is huge. Now Vicla might just get dove here in the bottom lane, throws out an early cage, and the Spica ultimate is going to come out. Vicla's still getting focused, but Wild Growth is able to keep him alive. Now the charm back down to Eyla. Closer's already been killed. Eyla will not die. Busio throws out a little bit more, but Spica just delivers the Bramble smash. Bjergsen gets away, but Spica's ready to follow. FlyQuest ain't done. Prince wants a little bit more, and Bjergsen is his target. They don't quite have the damage just yet. Prince picks one up. Tenacity and DoubleLift barely hobble away, and FlyQuest get one hell of a punch upside the jaw of 100 Thieves.
And look at the minimap. It's not just the devastation you saw on the bottom side, that tower dive. Guess what? The Crocodile unanswered will get a secondary turret as well. Impact also benefiting, while the rest of his team wins on the other side of the map. Closer gets here just after the tower is gone and the damage has been done. Impact gets out scot-free.
So what was the vision there from 100 Thieves? They thought, even after seeing these two players on the ward, that they could blow up Vicla before anything winds up coming on in?
Yeah, the call's been made. Hey, there's no Crocodile teleport, so they know that they'll have the numbers advantage, but DoubleLift is tanking the tower at the beginning. So that means DoubleLift had to walk back out, couldn't damage. Closer then got the tower aggro changed onto him. He goes down for the first kill, and it's a disaster in the aftermath. Vicla was able to get off the early cage, and then he was rooted into Gragas ultimate, did not move. Prince flashes forward for the chase here, and that is massive for FlyQuest.
And now the Drake is on the menu, and FlyQuest appear to be uncontested. 100 Thieves just wanting to potentially trade something, as the death sentence over the wall will not find Impact or Eyla. Prince gonna look for a little bit of something here with a zap. Super Mega Death Rocket flies down from DoubleLift, but not a whole lot to find there. The plate still being intact means DoubleLift can't do a ton of damage to this turret, but he will get a little bit of bonus gold just by nature of taking the plate for himself. Meanwhile, bottom side, Vicla's trying to get this one with 5 seconds left to go. Let's see if he gets it. I'm not quite sure. One more hit will do it. Yep, there it is. Plate with 2 seconds to spare.
Not even close, baby. And look at that Veigar money, just like that, off the bottom side play, breaking it in.
Prior to that fight, I was going to mention how Vicla in game number 1, we mentioned how he was building fully to scale for the late game, but he wound up getting those 2 early kills and the assist, which when you're playing for a late game build and then you get the early money early on, you're feeling even better. This game, it wasn't the case for a moment there, but now has begun to swing it in his favor, now at 136 CS leading the lobby.
And if you remember what that turned into,
Yeah.
the Veigar walking towards the Jinx and 2-tapping him.
It was pretty scary, to say the least.
So definitely do not let that Veigar easy access.
So if we're talking about scaling, the silver lining for 100 Thieves, the gold graph was up on the side of the screen a moment ago. DoubleLift is still the richest man on Summoner's Rift. In terms of individual money, he is still 600 ahead of Prince, who is the richest man on FlyQuest. You always have the DoubleLift might be able to carry it option for 100 Thieves, but there's got to be so much focus on him. He's the VIP. He's got to be protected. It's a Jinx game or it's a FlyQuest game.
Yeah, and there's so many big zone control CC tools for FlyQuest this game that they have a lot of options. They don't have to do this surgical removal. They've got Maokai ultimate into Veigar cages. So that cleanse button is going to get a lot of work.
Yep.
And that cooldown is going to need to be tracked here by the side of FlyQuest. Last game, Impact had a really good Anathema's Chains purchase to increase the CC duration on an opponent. And if 100 Thieves are putting so much effort towards that angle, then that would be another good purchase this time around.
So far in this series, 100 Thieves have had a lot of moments where they had the game in their favor, where they had the lead where you thought, hey, as long as they play things right, they can begin to snowball this. And then there's been some questionable plays in the bot lane both times that have come back to bite them. We'll see if they can bounce back here.
I think one of the ways they could bounce back would be finding a pick off of Ahri plus Thresh. That is a lot of pick potential there. We saw last time around the effectiveness of the Charm and Flash from Bjergsen, and his Flash is just coming back up off cooldown. And if you see all these wards here through the river, they definitely do have pockets of Fog of War to try and work with and try and make one of those sneaky plays. 3,000 gold lead though for FlyQuest, and I think it's an easy push in on mid lane preemptively. That Herald pop, that's basically guaranteed. The tower is going to die.
And while we were watching Vicla farm up in the bottom lane, he has 163 AP farmed up through his passive. That's the equivalent of about 4 blasting wands for any other champion in the game. Of course, it is part of his kit that he's balanced around having that extra power, but when you're farming up this effectively, when you're averaging 1 extra bonus AP, or 10 per minute, excuse me, it's very, very scary. Anybody gets caught, the burst from the Veigar is going to kill them, and Vicla just continues maxing out on this farming potential, already up to 172 now, as Spica is going to come down into the bottom lane. They throw out the cage, they force Bjergsen's ulti, the Maokai ulti following it up over the wall. Spica's going to tank up this turret so they can finish it off, grab the money on that one. FlyQuest 4K gold ahead, 17 minutes in.
Yep, getting both of those outer towers pre-dragon does so much because, yeah, it's 1,000 more gold for your team, but also now there's no defense for 100 Thieves to move over towards those dragons, so 100 Thieves might consider just giving those up as we've got a crocodile lying in wait. Shh.
Quiet impact. Make a sound. Okay, TP's coming in.
Oh, what
now
a flank.
Impact is going to show himself, but the TP's... Oh, the TP just barely makes it in time. DoubleLift's going to be focused down. Impact went towards Busio because he knew DoubleLift was going to be pulled to safety. Now they want to camp out and look for Bjergsen. Tenacity's here in the middle. Vicla flashes away. Closer here on the front line now too. Prince fires out the zap. Tenacity walks right into the cage. Now Spica's ready to chase, and 100 Thieves are on the run. DoubleLift is still alive. They knock him out of the way of the Dark Ladder, and Eyla's going to be killed before anything. Prince jumps over the wall, but now he's going to be a target. FlyQuest have screwed this up, and 100 Thieves are fighting back beautifully. Nice shutdown on Prince.
That is one long extendo bonk from Closer. The auto is already off, and then he flashes over, able to get the kill. Can they get the tower afterwards? They're going to push out. Dragon
now up. They're going to go for it. And you mentioned the kill potential comes in with the Ahri charm when that fight is looking so grim. As this goes on, you see the engage coming in. Busio doing a great job of keeping Impact off of DoubleLift. One of the things we really do need to see if 100 Thieves want to have a chance. The fight goes in. Finally, Vicla shows up. Cage comes on down. Immediately get damage on the Tenacity. He winds up flashing out and stays alive. Closer gets out. The Thresh cage comes on through. As the Dragon...
He just walked up and stole it. He just walked into the pit and stole it away. 100 Thieves lost the objective. But now what about the fight? Prince is coming in over the wall. They're seeing if they might be able to do a little bit more as Closer's going to be polymorphed. He's in a little bit of danger as Impact and Prince want to deal with everybody else, but DoubleLift's got this shut down, and now he's trying to deal with Prince. Vicla's coming in to back him up. Prince is killed. What in the world is he doing? DoubleLift trying to get back away as Spica looks for something else. It'll be Closer, traded for Impact and Prince, so 100 Thieves win the fight, but FlyQuest stole the objective.
Closer did not have a smite charge looking at that dragon, and so Spica got to walk up. Happy birthday, FlyQuest.
That's a good leash.
He's able to yank it. Yeah, look at that. There's no cooldown, no charge for Closer. They're slow-moing it just for more pain.
Hey, production? What's that about, production? Why are we doing the slow-mo there, guys?
Got it with the Q. Wait a second. Is that spectator thing correct?
I never know what to do with the spectator anymore. I feel like
I want to check because I'm pretty sure there was no smite for him either. I'm pretty sure that was just a smiteless duel, and it's the Maokai Q. Spica gets it, so it's still a fair fight. Still a fair fight. He gets it, but they do end up getting the kills. Prince down again. DoubleLift did a good job on that duel with him, and Bjergsen came back from the other side.
So gold lead has gone from 4,000 to about 1,700.
Yeah.
Yes, FlyQuest still ahead in this game. What does this mean for the long term? You know, we're now 20 minutes in. When this game gets to 40 minutes in, if this goes all the way, who does that favor with these team comps in your opinion, Kobe?
honestly, both team comps have pretty good ways to play out towards late game. There's a lot of variation in how a team with Gragas frontline and Thresh actually plays out because the skill shots and the angles are so much more difficult to pull off than a Maokai ultimate and Cage, a lot bigger. And so both of them do have good ways to pull it out. Not a big difference. I don't think they have to feel super pressured in it. Focus on the execution. Veigar, of course, can scale infinitely, so you always got that to worry about.
That is quite good.
Spica looking for a chance to go in here. They're only going to find Tenacity, but remember, it's not a tank Gragas. This man is full AP. He may just die here, and Vicla's on a killing spree now. With the Maokai ulti unleashed, they're going to lock down more players on the side of 100 Thieves. Busio wants to get away, but Spica's ready to lock him down again. A double kill back over to Vicla means FlyQuest continues winning these fights. It's a 2-for-0, and with DoubleLift at only 40% HP with no flash, FlyQuest is thinking about more.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get more too. DoubleLift is still alive, Jinx around Baron Pit. They can go look for the contest, no vision for themselves, no Scryer's orbs either. So it's some face checking right now.
Closer thinking about it. He knows that a steal here could bring him right back into a good position in this game. Vicla doesn't want to let him in, and it's going to be secured by Spica. FlyQuest back to a 4,000 gold lead.
Just like that, how quickly the tides can change. A bit too crazy of a fight in the mid lane for 100 Thieves. They will take a turret on the way out, but with Baron now into play, how much can FlyQuest get done on the map? Let's take another look at this fight.
Spica comes through from the riverside. And you see it mini-map right now, that Crocodile coming up through the river, impact on the flank as well. The first Veigar cage basically gets Tenacity. So that the way that you're fighting around these team fights with Veigar cage and Maokai ultimate, honestly, just so difficult for 100 Thieves.
I don't even think Tenacity got to move his character until he was at 4% HP.
Yeah, and the way that Veigar goes with the double scaling
there's a pick.
now.
Oh, nice pick on Spica there. DoubleLift gets it, goes on a rampage. FlyQuest getting a little bit too ahead of themselves here as they invade and try to set up for the next Drake.
And that's one of the most important tools they have. The Maokai ultimate lets them clear out any lane they want to push, force 100 Thieves back, gives them time to take down whatever turret they want to pressure. So that's a great start to this Baron buff. If you're inside 100 Thieves, you're more than happy to take that one.
Yeah, 100 Thieves big.
Prince!
40% HP here. Closer getting away from that cage. Again, Vicla always looking to set up these zones of control and keep these guys out. Spica's going to be back alive in 5 seconds. He still has his ulti. He has his flash for whenever he can join back up with the team.
Yeah, so 100 Thieves, it is more difficult for them to fight straight up front-to-back team fights because of the Maokai ultimate and the Veigar cage, but they have a lot of pick potential. The Ahri, not to scale as well as the Veigar, but is going to provide a possible burst option.
Vicla has done so much solo farming. He has 2 levels up on everyone on 100 Thieves. They try to force the charm. They do get out. The Maokai ult is a whiff. They'll force him on back. But control of the river goes to FlyQuest. And this has all the signs of it being their dragon, as Bjergsen's going to have to go get his health up.
Bjergsen losing the ulti there in order to escape. Ahri without ult can barely contribute to the team fight. So difficult to navigate those without the mobility. And that means FlyQuest get to go to Soul Point. 24 minutes into this game, the pressure continues to mount against 100 Thieves. DoubleLift still has 100% kill participation and 0 deaths. But it's getting tougher and tougher by the minute for 100 Thieves to be able to find their way to win here.
FlyQuest now beginning the push. Baron still on for another 17 seconds. The stun comes on through. It's going to chunk down Tenacity a little bit. No one getting knocked into the turret there. And no hook from Busio as well. I do not believe the Baron will last long enough to get this turret, as the wave won't make it there in time. But they still might be able to push this one down by brute force.
They did get the turret in mid lane. Instead, it was Impact taking that one in front of Bjergsen as Spica looks for the opportunity to just distract them a little with the ulti, allow the rest of FlyQuest to force down the tier 2 turret. So FlyQuest go up 6 turrets to 2.
And I think once Vicla's able to finish this death cap on the Veigar, there's not really going to be a window back in, because that thing right to the face just blows up anybody on 100 Thieves. The cage is already a big problem. There's a second needlessly large rod. it's kind of looming in front of you here.
And he's almost at level 16 in this one.
Yeah,
Absolutely having a field day. They're giving him all the solo lanes he can get. They know he infinitely scales. They know when he gets fully online, there's few things 100 Thieves can do outside of a charm to stop him. Yes, DoubleLift again, a great start. But unless this man is able to shell on FlyQuest without anyone reaching him, 100 Thieves are going to have themselves some tough team fights up ahead.
100 Thieves at least grabbing that final tier 1 turret from FlyQuest, taking an objective bounty in the process, brings the gold lead back down below 4K again, but it's got to get lower. The gold's got to get closer if 100 Thieves wants a chance. It's still 3 minutes before the Drake Soul spawns. FlyQuest is ready to reinforce. They're ready to go in. Spica fires off the ulti, but everybody's not here yet. They can't quite join in. Spica's now going to take a lot of damage for free. If DoubleLift can get excited, this might be the angle they're looking for. FlyQuest is totally disjointed. They wanted to go in there and catch 100 Thieves, but they didn't have the positioning. And DoubleLift gets a lot of damage for free because of it, and 100 Thieves disengage.
Still not enough, though. Not enough to find the first initial kill on the Maokai, as he did get immediately chunked out on the pressure on through, but Spica stays alive due to the help of that Lulu. As now the gold lead at around 3.8K, 2 minutes until the potential Dragon Soul spawns for FlyQuest. What's the win condition here? Is it simply DoubleLift go kill? Are they taking a page out of the book of 100 Thieves Valorant, Kobe?
I think it has to be vision control first and foremost. That could get you a pick. A pick is so much more valuable than having to expertly outplay a team fight around Maokai ult and Cage. I think the higher value chance for, if you're looking at it from 100 Thieves perspective, is to set up early vision before this dragon gets here and look for picks. If you can blow the flashes or cleanses off of some FlyQuest members, then maybe you've got a better way back into it. And for FlyQuest, stability is king right now. All they have to do is not have anyone face check these brush, go back, grab your control wards, work your way out through these hex gates with your control wards, have your Maokai front line here, Veigar Cage backs him up, and you just walk straight through.
Okay, boys. All right.
Go.
The Baron has respawned. The Drake that will be sold for FlyQuest spawns in 75 seconds. 100 Thieves are now tasked with a very difficult game state. You got to make sure they don't get the Baron. You got to make sure they don't get the Dragon. You got to make sure DoubleLift doesn't get picked. You got to make sure that you're ready for any of these zone control tools. You got to make sure you're ready for a flash engage. There's a lot of stuff 100 Thieves has to do, and if you fail anything on the checklist, everything's going to go from bad to worse. Good old classic North American ARAM here, 28 minutes in, as the teams are ready to stand off before the showdown.
Impact looking for potential entry. Does 100 Thieves have any idea he's in there? Not entirely sure as of yet, as looks like they'll quickly clear that wave with the help of the Veigar W, as maybe now they'll go back in for an engagement. Doesn't look like it as of yet. No need to force it. Still 27 seconds till this Dragon. And again, FlyQuest have initial control of the river.
So something that I want to bring up is a lot of times in the past, you would have teams try to threaten this, oh, well, if you take the Dragon, we're going to take the Baron instead. But it's so easy for FlyQuest to get the Dragon with just one player that you got to keep your eyes on exactly where everyone is. Even one damage dealer missing can take the Dragon all on their own. FlyQuest now opting to have control further in the direction of the Drake, and you can see Prince is already down on the Drake itself. This is what I'm talking about. One guy can do it. All it takes is one damage dealer on the objective. FlyQuest are going after it. The burst is coming out. They fire the Spire Plant over the wall, but Closer's not able to close any distance. Flash Charm coming out from Bjerg, but it only finds Eyla. It's not going to do enough. Impact off to the side, but Vicla goes after DoubleLift, and he finds the shutdown. It's 2 kills over to FlyQuest, and they ain't done yet. Prince leads the charge. Everybody dies on 100 Thieves. It's a 5-0 ace. And it will end this game and end this series. FlyQuest may have stumbled at the end of Spring Split, but they're back in form, they're locked and loaded, and they make an example out of 100 Thieves.
The curse hasn't been broken. I'm done. I retire. I have to retire.
Oh no!
FlyQuest.
They're just...
Oh, they're going to fountain dive it too!
FlyQuest
They're
are going to
bleeding.
fountain dive and get the ace. It's a statement series for FlyQuest. We'll see you in Rally as they get the job done.
Oh no, I feel so bad. 100 Thieves take the loss, and we may have lost courage on the desk forever.
I quit.
I'm sorry, bud.
I quit.
We had a good run, buddy.
Papa Smithy, you're the only caster that deserved to be up here today.
Didn't they lose when Papa casted them as the FlyQuest?
I
Oh,
quit.
yeah. No. Yeah, when Papa casted FlyQuest versus Liquid smacked him.
So Papa knew better than to get up here for this series.
We should have had a quad cast with
Stop.
Courage and Papa, and then we would have seen which curse
my.
Is this a draw?
Yeah. Somehow neither Nexus explodes.
FlyQuest, congratulations! A nice 3-0 there as they kick off their playoffs run in about the best way you possibly can.
Really, really